Jared, as always, we appreciate your time and thanks for joining us. And obviously a bit of a frustrating game, although offensively you guys were really humming along. How would you describe the team's overall feeling right now after a loss, but the offense being able to get the job done?
Yeah, I think definitely still hopeful and resilient. There's a lot of games to be played still. And I think Dan said it best. We talked to the team. He talked about, every team goes through a rough patch. And ours is kind of happening right now a little bit in some different areas on our team. So it's all a group effort, and offensively our job is how do we score more points than the other team and come out victorious.
Is there any emphasis? I mean, you're a veteran, you're a leader. Is there any emphasis to make sure that guys don't start pointing fingers at the defense? Yeah,
of course. I think, but I don't think it's as hard as it may seem outwardly. It's that we're going to need them and they're going to need us, and there's going to be times, I'm sure there's going to be times this year where it's a low-scoring game where, they've been playing well all night and we need to score one drive to win, and, it's going to flip a little bit, and that happens every year. So, they're going to fix some things over there, but we trust those guys and have to if we want to win any games.
Coach Campbell mentioned this after the game that we're going to have to find a way to give the defense confidence. How do you, as an offensive leader and a leader on the team in general, how do you go about trying to give confidence and build confidence in the defense?
I just think being a good teammate and supporting those guys every day and making sure they know that we have their back. And it's not for lack of effort. They're doing their best, and just need to fix some things. I can't speak exactly to what needs to be fixed, but I know they're doing their best, and I know that they'll come back ready to go. And like I said, at some point this year, there's going to be a time where they're going to be playing so damn well, and we're going to be stumbling a little bit, and we're going to need them. So it's going to happen.
Yeah, Doug and I were talking earlier in the show about this amazing stat. You guys have 18 touchdown drives this year. 14 of them have been from 70 yards or more. What do you make of that? I mean, that's an unbelievable statistic.
Yeah, it's good, man. We've been moving the ball well, and we kind of stayed as an offense. The only times we've kind of had hard times is when we didn't get that first down. We've had 3 and outs here and there, but for the most part, when we've gotten that first down, first down rather, we end up scoring, or we end up moving the ball pretty efficiently, and it's a rhythm thing. So just getting that first down for us on offense and keeping the ball moving has been successful.
Watching from the outside, Jared, you see, oh, this guy's hurt, that guy's hurt, and oh, this is going to set him back, and it didn't matter. How is it that the offense continues to put points on the board regardless of who is suiting up? I mean, I know you're pretty humble, but I think a lot of it is credit to you. Is it you and Ben Johnson? Is it everybody? Is it that we just underestimate Khalif Raymond and everybody else? I mean, how is this happening when it doesn't matter who suits up?
Sure. Yeah, I think, first of all, I think the guys that were out there have actually had a lot of reps, as opposed to a lot of teams that have, 2 or 3 or 4 guys that are, not the starters in the game. These guys have had a lot of reps. I think outside of Skipper, who's been playing a lot now, but, Evan played almost the whole year last year. Tom Kennedy played a lot last year. Khalif obviously played a lot with me last year, and Cephas even had his times last year. So these guys have had a lot of reps, and they're not as inexperienced as some may think, and they're also guys that I feel comfortable with. I think that coupled with just our ability to have no flinch and just to understand that our offense can roll with whoever, and we know our rules, we know what we're supposed to do, know our assignments, and I get the ball out on time, and things pretty usually work like that.
It's kind of ironic. I was thinking to myself the other day, how many times does a team score 45 points and not come away a winner? And yet, ironically, you were part of one of those games on the winning side back in 2018, that great Rams versus Chiefs game. Can you talk about the difference that each game had their own feel?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that one was a big one on Monday night. So that was, it was in the wake of all the fires in LA. So there was a little bit of emotion in that game as well. But they were similar. There was some similarities. Just the amount of times we knew we were going to have to score, and I'm sure they knew that as well on the other side. And I think the main difference was how many turnovers were in that game. I think the Chiefs had a handful, and when we actually had a handful too. So the defenses didn't play all that poorly in that game, and were able to make some plays, and it was really a full team effort back in that game. I know it was 50 points on each side, but there was a lot of plays made on both sides of the ball.
Obviously, the probably the play you want back most is the pick six. Can you take us through what happened there?
Sure. Yeah, no, it's just a bad decision late. First play of the half, so it's really dumb, and just can't do it. Put us in a bad spot, and made our climb up the hill even harder.
Yeah. Well, I do want to bring this up though. Jared Goff, zone read quarterback. You kept the ball down on the 2-point conversion. Was that deep in the playbook, or is that something you guys are going to start to unleash your running skills?
Ben's kind of had that one in his back pocket for his first few weeks. Anything inside, in that 2-point conversion area, or anytime in the field where we feel like we're getting an end that's really crashing, we can do it. So he's been waiting to pull that one out, and that was a good time for it on the 2-point conversion. When they would never expect it.
Why do you suppose that the offense is taking such strides since you've been here, and yet the defense is struggling to get their footing? What's the big difference that you can tell?
Man, I think I'm just going to keep echoing the same thing. I'm not over there. They're working through a lot of things. I've been on the flip side of this though, where at times in LA and even times last year where the defense is playing so dang well and we can't even get in the end zone. And it's the way the game goes sometimes. And the only thing we can do is be supportive of those guys and know that they have our back and want them to know that we have theirs. And it's going to come around. We believe in them, and believe in Dan, believe in AG, believe in all those guys. Know it's going to come around, and I know they're doing their best to make it work.
TJ Hawkinson was so good. He was so good in that game. Is this a breakthrough performance, or maybe just a little bit of product of volume because other guys were out?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's product of volume. We didn't force the ball to him or anything. It was organically within the game. Just himself getting himself open and running good routes and being sharp and efficient and decisive. And obviously his best game since I've been here. But I think it was really cool to see him get in a rhythm. And yeah, maybe it was because we had to get him involved a little bit more. But it was a rhythm he was playing with. It was a confidence he was playing with, where he didn't think anyone could cover him and no one could tackle him. And that's where we need him to be at all times. And I told him after the game, there's no reason he can't do that every week or can't, do stuff close to that every week and play that same way. And I know he's feeling confident right now, and he's a rhythm player who we need to continue to keep in that rhythm.
When the offense is going and clicking as well as it has, I mean, how much confidence does that give you? Do you feel like you can fit any throw in at any given time? You chomping at the bit on the sideline, just get back on the field because it's always been so successful?
Yeah, it's funny, that game the other day, I don't know how many points we had in the third quarter, but the fourth quarter just started, and I was like, man, we get to do this for another quarter. We're just, able to go up and down the field on them. Those are the best times as an offense when you feel that confidently and you want to get back out on the field. And, yeah, it was a good day for us offensively, but ultimately not enough to win. I was hoping we'd get one more possession there at the end, and felt pretty good about that. If we had gotten that possession, that we'd have a pretty good chance to win there, but not the way it went. And our job now is how do we find a way, for me personally, not to give them 7 points. And I know Khalif would like to have his fumble back, and if we're able to eliminate those 2 mistakes, do we win the game? I don't know, maybe, but it would help. So how do we get better, and how do we improve and score more points than the other team?
My final thing for you is: do you see Jamison Williams running around? Is he starting to integrate, getting close? Because I mean, this we haven't even seen him yet, and that must be. It feels like a wealth of riches right now.
Yeah, I know he's kind of getting that itch, I think, where he's seeing some of the stuff we've been able to do, and wants to be out there to help us, and see him working every day. And I know he's progressing well. I have no idea what his timeline would be, but I can't wait till he's on the field, and then he'll give us a nice little spark and can help us a lot.
Well, maybe he gets up to speed quicker. He can only work on a sideline if you just work him with Jack Fox.
Oh my God, what a throw.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. There you go. Jack threw a good one. We've been working on that for a while. I've been begging them to call that because Jack throws it well.
Covered receiver, back shoulder throw. I mean, it was something else.
In time, in rhythm.
Well, Jared, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully we got a win to talk about next week. We didn't even get into the Patriots. Any quick scouting report on the Patriots, what you've seen?
Yeah, they're a good team. They're always well coached, obviously. We'll see how it goes. They're going to come ready. I know they just lost a tough one too, so it'll be a good battle for us on the road, and hopefully we can come out with our first road win this year.
Do you get any sense from the players that were here during the Patricia regime that this game means more to them this week?
No, I don't.
Okay. Nobody's saying
I-
anything. There's no bulletin board stuff on there. Nobody
No, we
has a
haven't- we
dartboard
haven't
Patricia's
spoken- we
face
haven't
on
spoken
there.
about that, to be honest. We haven't spoken about that, to be honest. No.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Jared, we'll talk next week.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Jared Goff, Detroit Lions quarterback here on 97.1 The Ticket.